And y'all know what it is. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, and we okay. Yo, we got it going on today. We talk about a topic that a lot of people won't be able to relate, but maybe you won't hate. Listen, today on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, we are asking, how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? How long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? What is a Mr. Mom? If you don't know what a Mr. Mom is, a Mr. Mom, for all practical purposes, is a man who, instead of working, stays home and does the domestic chores. Sort of like a stay-at-home mom would. He'll be a stay-at-home dad. So he'll take care of the kids. He'll run errands and, do the domestic chores, cooking, cleaning, shopping, things like that. Well, there are situations where a man is in that position, and I guess, listen, if it works for you, it don't have to work for me. But if it works for you, well, we gonna see. But how long will a woman put up with it? We're in a society right now where people say that gender roles don't matter, and a woman can do anything that a man can do, and vice versa. And this is just where we are in today's society. So we're living in a free and equal society. Well, let's put it to the test. Is that really the case? Is that what we doing out here? Is that what we doing? Is it? Is it? How long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? Have you ever been in a situation like that where instead of the man going out and making money and working, hustling, providing for the family, he stays home and does the more reactive part? And maybe being reactive is not the operative word here. Maybe it's not the correct word to use in this scenario. Because if we were talking about a woman, is she doing the reactive? Is she playing a reactive role in being a housewife or stay-at-home mom? I mean, honestly, that's the word that I would use, or that's the term that I would probably use, but doesn't mean that it's correct. So I'm not trying to diss nobody. And I know that things around the house have to be done. Being a housewife is something that is necessary in every household, whether you do it full time or whether you do it part time or whether you do it as needed. Things around the house have to be taken care of. Business matters around the house have to be taken care of. Whether we're talking about paying bills, whether we're talking about washing clothes, whether we're talking about keeping the house clean and sanitary, whether we're talking about, because that's a safety issue. Also, keeping the house safe. Or whether we're talking about putting food on the table. There are a whole lot of domestic duties, taking care of the children, raising the babies, making sure that they get to and from school, making sure that everything is taken care of, making sure that they're safe too. All of these things have to be done. The business matters of the household have to be taken care of. And when the business matters of the household aren't taken care of, when people get home from work and they are home, then things go in disarray. Now, this is traditionally a role that we see women fulfilling most of the time. But what happens when the roles are reversed? Let's say in a situation where a man has lost his job or is unable to work. Maybe he had an accident. Maybe he had what they call a nervous breakdown or something like that. Maybe he has or if he has a disability that will not allow him to work in a physical capacity outside of the home. So he has to take care of the things at home. Is this a situation that a man and a woman can deal with, a husband and a wife can deal with, a set of spouses can deal with? It may be okay for a while for some. It may be okay for the long haul for others. It may not be okay it may not be okay at all for some. So we're going to talk about that today on this glorious Saturday, the 30th of March. It's the 30th of March, y'all. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? March is just about over. After tomorrow, it's over. We are in the middle of Aries time. It's full spring. Good Friday was yesterday. Easter is tomorrow. Did you get a pair of sneakers? Did you get a sweatsuit? I don't know. What do they get for Easter now? Do people still get Easter clothes? Do you get something for church and something for the streets? Do you get something for the church and something for the streets? Let me know. Let me know. Let me see your Easter gear. Let's see, see you lay on the bed, you know what I mean, for the next day. Like, yo, man, I'm be fly tomorrow. When we go to the movies tomorrow, I'll be fly, real fly, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. We do this every single Saturday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Saturday. And it is Saturday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. So, how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? UFC casual. He says, them chains real, not trying to diss. Well, you know what? If you were actually trying to diss, it wouldn't be the first time. Yes, they are real. 100%. The rocks and the chain. This is rose gold. This is the regular yellow. This is a clown because I used to be a comedian. So I call it a jester. The jewelry store. I guess you could call it a jeweler. I ain't gonna call it. Whatever. Anyway, she called it a clown. I call it a jester. She been trying to buy this shit back from me since I bought it. Real shit. The last time I was in a jewelry store was about a month ago, and she was like, "Yo, won't you give up the clown?" I was like, "Why?" She said she put it on the scale, and she was like, "Do you see the price of gold right now? You know what I would give you for that right now?" I was like, "Well, why this one?" Because she never asked to buy. She never asked to buy back this one, and I had this one custom made. This was stock. I had this one custom made. She was like, "Nah, that's you." You know what I mean? Like, nah, you had that design. But anyway, I ain't mad at you. But yeah, they are real. I wouldn't go for the fake jewels. We not doing that. Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. What's going on, Ma? Good to see me some you. And also Stacy White is all up in the place. It's good to see you, see your face. And Care Bear, thanks for coming through here. I appreciate you. We coming through loud and clear. All right, so we're talking about today. How long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? A Mr. Mom. There was a movie called Mr. Mom back in the day, back in the 80s. Y'all remember that? It was my man Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton starred in the movie, and Terry Garr. Right? Y'all remember Terry Garr, the white actress? She was a pretty good actress. Terry Garr. And in that movie, he worked at an auto plant in Detroit. And you know the history of the auto industry in America when the Japanese came over here with the Toyotas and the Nissans and blah 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 blah. When the Oriental Asians came in, they started making more fuel efficient cars and engines that could last way past 200,000, 300,000 miles. It's American auto industry. The American auto industry took a hit. Anyway, in the movie, he lost his job at the auto plant in Detroit. And so he was home for a while. He couldn't find a job. And so, he was home taking care of the kids. And the kids was looking like, "Dad, what you doing home?" So he was doing his whole thing. He was doing his old domestic thing. And his wife was working. She was out working, bringing home the bacon and whatever. And it was outlining the problems it was a comedy movie. It was actually a pretty good movie. It was pretty good. If you ever get a chance, check it out, Mr. Mom. So that's where I got the title from. But it's a real thing, especially in today's social climate. Now, when that movie came out, it was like around 1983, something like that. 83, 84. It was back in the day. So a man not working, staying home, taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, doing chores, running errands, not contributing financial to the household. People looking at that situation like, what is this? It was a different time. Nowadays, people might be like, well, if it was her, she would do it with no problem and nobody would bat an eye. In a marriage, all things are equal. So if a housewife was home taking care of her domestic duties, doing the housewife thing flawlessly, and if they got divorced, the courts would treat it as if she went out and worked and contributed to the household financially, brung home the bacon and all of that. Everything is 50-50. So why is it different than when a man does it? But that's what the legal system says. What about the social system? Can you stand up to how you were probably raised, what you were taught, how you were groomed? What do you think? Let's get into it. Urban Therapy with Sun Show. And this is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. You can call into the show if you would like to speak on this topic. If you would like to get on the microphone, which is the telephone, I invite you to call in, and the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's a number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. 319-527-6199. If you want to call in live to the show, you will be speaking in real time, and you could ask a question about this topic. You could tell a story about this topic. You can curse, cuss, swear. There is no censorship. I let you say whatever you want to say, even if you're saying things to me instead of with me. You ain't gotta agree with nothing I say. You ain't gotta agree with nothing I say. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. What up, Hitler FP? That's an interesting name. Hitler FP. Good looking out, Carol. Good looking out, Carol, for the number being out. I wish I could pin it. I wish I could pin it. Actually, you know what? I might see. I can actually take one of my other phones and go online and be able to write. And if it comes down to that, I'll do it. I don't know if I'll be able to pin the show, but regardless, if y'all want to call in 319-527-6199, we are talking about how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom. Now, some people might read that title and they say, well, why does a woman have to put up with a Mr. Mom? What do you mean put up with? There are certain buzzwords that get people's goat. They don't like. What do you mean tolerate? What do you mean put up with? Yeah, well, they are real things. Not everybody does everything that you like them to do. And when somebody does something consistently that you don't like or don't appreciate, even though it may not be harming you directly, but maybe you just don't have any appreciation for it. But if you look at the whole of the person, if you look at the total persona of each person, you may decide, well, yeah, they do these things that I don't like, or this thing that I don't like, but I can definitely put up with that or tolerate that or ignore that because the other things that they bring to the table and the kind of person that they are definitely outweigh and overshadow any negative things or negative opinions that I have about them. So, and sometimes we just have to grow up. Sometimes we just have to grow up and realize that not everybody is coming at your neck. And just because you don't please somebody 100%, it does not mean that they don't like you or that they have animosity towards you. And the same thing is with people towards you. Like, just because somebody doesn't do what you like or act in a way that you would appreciate more, It doesn't mean that they're not decent people. It doesn't mean that they don't have value, whatever. So, how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? How long will she do it? It's not the traditional role. It's not the traditional role of human beings. Man and a wife. Man and wife. Girlfriend and boyfriend. You know? Most of us grew up, especially if you were born before the 80s. And I'm going to say the 80s. 80s babies, 80s babies can hang out a little bit. They're a little, they're a little too cool with Generation Z, but '80s babies, those millennials, they still know what it's like to watch a TV that doesn't hang on the wall. They know what it's like. Yeah. They know what a real remote control looks like. They know what knobs on the TV look like, what they feel like. They still know what it's like to drink from a water hose in the backyard while you filling up a wading pool. They know all about that. 80s babies okay. It's the 90s babies that don't know shit. It's all good. Even some 90s babies, some of them. Some I have to be careful. But some 90s babies, your mom and your dad may not have upgraded yet. Your mom and your dad may not have upgraded yet if you were a 90s baby. But one thing is for sure, if you were a 2000 baby, I can't expect you to know how to work a telephone that is a rotary dial telephone. You might not even know how to use a regular touch tone phone. Like, where's the send button? Like, you don't have to send. You just dial the number. Just dial the number and wait. It'll ring. I gotta be careful here. Gotta be careful here and experience some spillage. Yeah. So how long would a woman put up with a man who's a Mr. Mom? How long would she do it? Let's talk. K-Bear says, I've been in this position after my ex-husband lost his job. I was happy to jump in and support him as he got back up on his feet, but he hated being in that position, and his feelings of inadequacy caused ripples in our relationship. I think I could kind of understand his point of view. I could. Okay, but it says, that led to me wanting him to go back to work just so he'd feel better. I can dig that. He never went back to... Like, I was feeling the way the story was going. I was like, oh, this is going in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, because I wouldn't want to be a stay-at-home dad either. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't love my children, because I do. Not that I don't love my home, because I do. Not that I don't love my wife, because I do. Well, if I was married, tomato. Anyway. But yeah, it's just not, it's not a familiar role. It's not. It's like black people play hockey. It's not that they can't do it, but it's just not like we didn't grow up and do pickup hockey games around the way. It's not that we couldn't do it. Hockey and soccer or football is the same thing. It's the same thing. Hockey is played just like soccer. Almost identical rules. But, it's played on ice. When we grew up, we didn't have a lot of ice. We had ice skating rinks, but we didn't get that. Anyway, regardless, it's not familiar territory for a lot of men. You know what I mean? When we grew up being raised by other men, or whether it was your father or another influential male, like your uncles or big brothers or your old heads or whatever, they taught you. Like, listen, man, you find yourself a good job, or you hustle and you make as much money as you can, and that will definitely put you in a more powerful position when it comes to your woman, because women like a man who is responsible, a good provider, and can hold it down, makes good sound decisions. You know, from what I understand, not too many women like a man who can't make a fast decision. Like, cats who be waffling, like, well, I'm not really sure if I should. I'm kind of, well, baby, what you think I should do? She might go for it. She might go for it a few times, but after a while, she's going to realize, like, oh, this dude don't really know what he wants, and so he can easily be swayed. Speaking of being swayed, I don't normally do this early, but tomorrow on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we're going to talk about putting up with somebody who's a follower. How do you deal with your man or your woman who's a follower? Everybody ain't a leader. And sometimes you might fall in love with somebody who follows. Like, yo, they do whatever their friends do. They do whatever somebody who has a stronger personality does. They are easily influenced. They are primed and ready for a cult. Put you in love with them. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready already? But we got to get through this one first. I just wanted to, put y'all on. Let y'all know I'm already ready. I'm already loaded for bear. I got the bullets in the gun. Them things have been soaked in oil. I wiped all of the prints off of it, whatever. So when anyway. How long will a woman? I mean, it's not a familiar situation. It's not a familiar role that a man is in, to stay home and cook and clean and be a good mommy. It's possible that every man should probably do it for a little while to really get in touch with the pulse of his family, like to learn their personalities for real, straight up and down. Because there are plenty of men who have been good fathers but bad communicators. They've been good fathers, but they weren't attentive. They weren't sensitive to a lot of the things, a lot of the problems, a lot of the issues, a lot of the trials and tribulations that the children went through. Many men have felt like, as long as I bring the money in here, the mom can take care of all that other stuff or whatever, and I'll step in if necessary. But other than that, I'm the hunter. I go out and hunt and gather, and I bring home, the meat for us lions to feast on. Even though in the lion community, the woman goes out, the female lions go out and hunt way more than the male lions do. But male lions fight a lot better, and they're bigger and stronger and way more ferocious than female lions are. So if the female lions get in trouble out there and they can't fend for themselves, the male comes through and regulates, tears shit up. Like, oh, whoa. Who y'all think y'all about to eat Nala? Y'all ain't eating Nala. Nala better not have a scratch on her. You know what I mean? I'm about to roar on y'all, mother. But Okay, let's see. Let's see what y'all talking about. All right, Care Bear says, yeah, he lost his job in 2007 and we broke up in 2006. Wow. He sold insurance 2 years after that, but only for a short amount of time. I could never fall in love with a follower. I'm gonna say that shit. I'm gonna say that shit tomorrow too. Yo, you gotta slow down. I'm almost salty that I mentioned it so short. Maybe I should have waited to the end of the show. All right, but nah, we good. All right. Little Carol says, I'm ready to move, and I know it's going to cost us, so I'm prepared to help with the expenses. But of course, he doesn't see it that way. Of course, he don't see it that way. Anyway, Care Bear says, I think men should do it for a time in order to get a chance to experience milestones with their kids. And Carol says, Care Bear, I agree. Working men miss out on so much not being able to spend quality time with the children. That's true. That's true. Many fathers have gone to the grave without really knowing their children and without the children really getting a chance to know him. But how do you want to get to know your dad? There's nothing wrong with a man cooking. Men are the best chefs in the world. It's just a fact. But as far as volume is concerned, there are probably more women chefs out there in the world. And what I mean by women chefs, I'm talking about the home chef. She's the cook. She does the cooking. She makes sure that the family is fed and that they receive delicious and nutritious meals. That's what she often does. And you've seen how some couples have had a real problem when the woman either won't cook or can't cook very well. Like, damn, she can't boil water. Man, we had a couple of boiled eggs the other night. I was like, what the hell? How you fuck this up? I don't know. Like, I put the eggs in the water and I don't know why they didn't cook. Like, did you turn on the stove? What? Did you turn the stove on? Oh, I thought you just put the eggs in the water and they was ready after a while. I let them. It was taking a long time. Damn, shorty. Damn, baby. This where we are? Is this where we are with it? Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and we are talking about how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? Emasculation. Emasculation is a term that we have to familiarize ourselves with and that we have to take into consideration when we're talking about this situation. Emasculation, making a man feel like he's less than a man. He has reduced his masculinity. Some women emasculate a man that is doing what he's supposed to do. Some women will abuse a man just for being accommodating to her. So, we have the alpha males who are known to be more stubborn, known to be more direct, known to be, kind of like assholes, really. The type A personality, the alpha males, and even alpha women. They're normally leaders. They're normally bossy. They're normally very opinionated, not very liberal in their stance to things, very judgmental, very rigid in their opinions and stances on certain things. Well, then you have the beta males, which everybody teases. Like if you want to have alpha males, don't you have to have beta males? That's logic, though. So people consider beta males to be soft, punk, and pussy-like, and just let people walk all over them. But that's not true. A better word for beta males, or a term that you could associate or better associate with beta males, would be understanding, willing to compromise, accommodating. And every woman wants a little bit of beta in their alpha. Women say that they want a man to be a man all the time, but then when a man starts acting like he don't have like he was only born of a man, not a man and a woman, so he doesn't have a feminine side, so he doesn't understand anything that you do as a woman, doesn't seem to appreciate anything that you bring to the table as a woman, maybe doesn't even want to be associated with the femininity that you display if it doesn't suit him. But a beta male will. A beta male will understand why you want to do certain things and why you will not want to do certain things. A beta male will try to find a way to make you happy. They will find a way to compromise. They'll find a way to share, not just give. An alpha male will give you things. A beta male will share things with you. I'm not out here caping for beta males, but we have to understand some things, especially in the terminology, because you got a lot of people out here running around here talking about they alpha males and they got a lot of beta in them. But it ain't cool to say that you a beta male. It ain't cool. Because it's supposed to be associated with being soft and sissy-like and punk-like and simpy. You a simp. You beta male. You a simp. You let your woman walk all over you. You know, because you're never supposed to let your woman walk all over you. But in the bedroom, you'll let your woman jump all over you. You know, and maybe a whole lot of other things. A lot of these alpha males or so-called alpha males, you know. I said, anyway, moving right along. In a non-traditional role where a man has lost his job or lost his ability to be able to physically go out and become a provider, you know, what do we do? What do we do? Well, we have to find something for him to do. But if we're talking about emasculation and we're talking about a woman making a man feel like less than because he can't do certain things or won't do certain things or is not able to do certain things, we're talking about emasculation. And when we're talking about a man becoming more domesticated and settling into that role for a lengthy period of time, yeah, the feelings of emasculation may start to kick in. Now they can kick in his own mind. Maybe she's still treating him like a man. Maybe she's still, you know, respecting him and everything. But maybe because he doesn't feel like he's doing what he should be doing or contributing what he should be contributing, it could be the case where he may have these delusions of being emasculated when he's not, because his sensitivity may be so high right now because he doesn't feel like he's doing what he should be doing. Yeah, it can some feelings of negativity can start to kick in. But there are plenty and many cases where a woman is like, listen, you need to get up off your ass. You know, you're not doing nothing around here, and even what you are doing, this is not what you should be doing. Like, you got to bring some money into this house. I remember a specific example where I knew this married couple, and the wife used to emasculate her man all the time. I never saw nothing like it. It was disgusting. But you know what? He didn't work. He didn't work. And you know what else he didn't do? And y'all may look at this a certain kind of way. He didn't drive. He didn't work, but he was getting disability payments. So he was getting paid, and there were times when he got a settlement. So he got like lump sum, so you know, and it was all good when he got his digit, when he got his check, and when he got his little hustle on in other ways. I'm not gonna say which ways it was because y'all know how I knew him, so I'm not gonna get into all of that. But yeah, when he had money, especially good money, yeah, she was. It was all, the shit was crazy. But on a regular basis, she was shitting on him. Yo, you need to get a job. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Yeah, you can get a little under the table job because she felt some kind of way because she had to get up every morning to go take her ass to work, bust her ass, and bring home money and whatever. While she figured he was staying home all day, he was doing what he was supposed to do around the house. Kept the house clean, cooked the meals, because he had cooking skills that were superior. I think he had graduated from like culinary school or some shit like that. These meals wasn't regular. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. But in her mind, that wasn't good enough. She wasn't feeling that. So even though he was bringing money into the family, money into the household, sometimes significant amounts, and he was also doing his domestic thing, took care of the kids, made sure that they were straight and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, she used to make him feel like a punk all the time. And she didn't give a shit if his friends or family were around either. I used to be like, yo, you got a reckless John. But every time she used to talk to him, when I was able to hear it, I could feel his dick getting smaller and smaller. Like, I don't know. Let's start big. Here. Now he done became a little dick motherfucker. You can't even, now you ain't even holding that part down. You ain't cooking right. You ain't cleaning right. You ain't taking care of the bills right. You ain't doing it, and you can't please me. Shoot. With that type of emasculation, shoot, he might have cut his tongue off too. So he ain't banging or he ain't licking or sticking. But anyway, from what I understand, they're still together today. To this very day. So some things work for some people, some things don't. So how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? If you were in that situation, where a man lost his job or his ability to work or whatever, and he was going to have to do more things around the house, would you go to work as hard as you would have expected him to work in order to take care of the household financially? Like most men, and definitely not all men, but most men, maybe I ought to be careful about saying most men. A whole lot of men have ambition, and many men who have that ambition actually act on their ambition. So they work, and they work hard, and they work long hours, and they hustle, and they promote themselves, and they look for more work, and they try to figure out things, and they try to secure a really, really good bag for the family. Would a woman do the same thing? Now, in today's workforce, you see a lot of women fulfilling the roles that were traditionally held by males. And I'm talking about in the white collar world, not in the blue collar world. We all know women can work on a construction site. And I don't know when was the last time I saw like a trash collector, the trash men. I don't know when the last time I saw somebody come pick up the trash without a woman on the truck in some kind of way, whether she's collecting or driving. So we know that women can work, but will they work towards the goal of securing or making sure that the financial security of the family is good? I'm going to have to say yes. But I also have to say that they'll do it because women like making their own money. They do. And why wouldn't they? It's a sense of accomplishment. Like, I did it against all odds. I'm not even supposed to be out here making this money. But look, I am. And don't let her be energetic and beautiful too, to whereas she come in the room, she already got a set of skills, more skills than a crackhead. More accessories more useful accessories than a Swiss Army knife. And she has the ability to make people like her. So she's charismatic. You know, women be feeling themselves like, yeah, I got it going on. But they don't do it the way men do it. Even if, and I'm not, this doesn't go for all women. But most women that I know who are very successful at their job, they just, kind of take it on the chin. They probably get all kinds of praises when they're at work. But at home, they'll harp on that shit like, yeah, I'm the man at the gig. Then I gotta come back to this shithole. But a man, a man is looking for praise often at work and at home. He needs that balance. So if a man is unable to get the praise, the adoration, the admiration that he requires at home because he doesn't have a job to go to validate himself. It's sad that anybody has to be validated, but what's wrong with being validated? What's wrong with being validated? And I think it's a little odd that it looks like my chat stopped after Carol. Let me go on here and see. Let me see if that's actually the case, because sometimes my chat stops and it doesn't mean that the chat has stopped. So let me see. Oh yeah, my chat stopped and the rest of the chat kept going on. Let me see. Yeah, there are people on here I didn't see, like RM. I didn't see. RM, he says there's a lot of talented female chefs though. Just think men are more creative. Okay. Look at this. Man. Wait a minute. Yeah. On my chat right there, it stopped where Carol said, I agree, working men miss out on so much. Not another word after that. So let me see. Let me try to catch up here. I had to go on the show. But I have to go on my own shit so I can see the comments. My comments have stopped. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'm just going to shout out everybody because I can't be looking down while I'm trying to do the show here. So, what up, my brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? He says some people lie about their age. Ask them what year they graduated. All right. Carol says, you don't find many men who don't drive. I only know of one. It's like a rite of passage for a young man to drive. I know. I've met plenty of men that don't drive, and it's weird. And I'm going, listen, Carol, look, if I'm wrong on this, then I'm gonna take that L. But women don't respect no dude who don't drive. How are we gonna get places? How are we gonna late at night? If we have an emergency, how we get there? We gotta catch a cab, we gotta call an Uber, a Lyft. You know what I mean? What about just, if you want to go on a long drive on a weekend? Like, listen, babe, we just gonna drive out to the country. You know what I mean? Get some organic, farm fresh foods from the Amish. Matter of fact, let's just drive. We just gonna drive out until we just gonna drive out and sightsee. Like, you can't do that when you don't drive. Man is supposed to drive. When you used to go on long trips, you go down south to see your family. Who drove the car? The man drove that shit. Daddy drove. Mommy was on the passenger side. She drives too. So if he got too tired or some shit like that, even though he probably wouldn't admit to it, but if it got to that point, mommy could take the wheel. Let daddy get a few winks. If he trusted mommy to drive. Sometimes mommy driving scared daddy a little bit. Like sometimes daddy's driving scared mommy, scared everybody in the car. Like, oh, it's a roller coaster. Anyway, yeah, he didn't drive. He didn't drive and he didn't work. Those are two hella strikes against you. Those are two hella strikes. It's going to be hard to win. That's a hard situation to win. All right. So we're talking about how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? NFT zone. He says, we got to leave that Democrat plantation before we climb the mountaintop. When people be talking about, like, how do y'all figure? Okay, talk about Democrats and Republicans. When Republicans were running this country, can y'all remind me of the good times we had? The last Republican that we had in office was Trump. And Trumpers try to romanticize that shit like it was all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, the fuck out of here. He can get on this camera and say all the kind of things that he wants to say about what he's done. But when you actually go look at the books and what he signed off on, you see a different story. And the last Republican, the last real Republican, because he ain't no Republican. I don't know what the fuck he is. When you look at the last Republican administration, that was George W. Bush. How was your George W. Bush years? Tell me the highlights of the George W. Bush administration. If you can, share those with me. Now, if you don't remember, he was president from the year 2000 to the year 2008. How'd it go? You remember the good old Bush years? Tell me some of the highlights. It started off with 9/11, right? Okay. Now, maybe you blame him for that, maybe you don't. But even if you don't, tell me the highlights. What were the highlights of the Bush administration? And the previous Republican administration before George W. Bush was George H.W. Bush. George Bush Sr. 1 year. 1 term. You remember the highlights of the George H.W. Bush administration? Do you remember why he didn't get reelected? I do. Let me remind y'all of why he didn't get reelected. Because everybody lost their fucking jobs. He ended the era of permanent job. He sent all of our jobs overseas. He opened up free trade and all that kind of shit. So, there were no more American workers. American industry died under George H.W. Bush. They died. So I'm like, so all of this shit that people be talking about, like, the Republicans, we got to get Republicans back. I heard somebody say the other day, every time a violent act happens, they talking about it's the fucking Democrats. This wasn't happening when the Republicans were in. What are you talking about? 9/11 happened with who? Who? We in Afghanistan because of who? Iraq because of who? Now, if I wanted to get stupidly extreme with it, I'd be like, the only reason that they hate us in the Middle East is because of the Republicans. They got it popping. How can you say I was wrong? It happened when they were in office. Okay. My man Rection. Yo, I don't know what's going on with my man Rection. It's all good though. And just the dude What's up, Just a Dude? I'm just trying to do these shout outs now. I can't read all of this stuff. I'm too far behind. Jared Darius. You say gas was way lower when Republicans were in office? Yeah. How long was gas lower? Let me give y'all a history lesson. Do you remember which administration that we first saw gas go over $3 a gallon? Do you remember whose administration it was when we first saw gas go over $3 a gallon? Let me remind you, the Bush administration, George W. Bush. We had never seen gas over $2 a gallon before George W. Bush. And it happened in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. After Hurricane Katrina, then we started seeing gas go over $3 a gallon. It was not like that before. It wasn't like that in the Clinton administration. No way. It was $1. $1. And another thing, when the Bush administration was over, then it went when the Clinton administration was here. Guess what? $1 per gallon when the Clinton administration. So, I mean, you can't make history be what you want it to be. I understand that you don't like the current administration, but you can't blame that all on no Democrats. You're going to try to blame individual acts of violence on Democrats. Like, are you crazy? What? Nah, man. That ain't working. But facts are the enemy of opinion. And those are the facts. 2005, summer of 2005, that's when we first saw gas go over $3 a gallon. And that was in 2005. That was in the first year the second year of the second administration of George W. Bush. And it kept going up every summer. Now we start seeing every summer. So every time the oil spill or some shit like that happened, then we saw it go over $3 a gallon. Now, why did the gas get so high during the Bush administration? You can't say it was like the Koch brothers and other and the oil companies, because the oil companies, they always support Republicans. They never support Democrats. So you can't say that they were punishing him, can you? No. Nobody benefited under George W. Bush. They wouldn't even listen. Remember, his name was Mud. When who was it? When John McCain ran against Barack Obama, that was an easy win for Barack Obama. Not just because he was the first black president, it's because they couldn't even endorse the previous administration on the Republican side. You ain't hear John McCain say shit about George W. Bush. They tried to make you forget about it. Like, look, forget that was all in the past. That was a long time ago. Like, he's still in office right now. Well, he was saying that. Well, my question. Okay, I can't believe you're saying that. No, he's saying that gas was cheaper. When? During the Republican administration or Democrats? Because the way I read it. Okay, my bad. Taxes were better. I don't know. Okay. Let me stop reading this shit. Yeah, Carol says, correct, Omar. I had just bought a new car and I was crying at the price of gas. Yeah. Plus, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. That doesn't even control the price of gas. But it's a talking point. Because people want to bring it up like the president can go to private oil companies and be like, yo, man, y'all gotta lower these prices. You can't do that. They do what they want to do. You see, when COVID first broke out, gas prices was cheap as shit. Why? Because there wasn't nobody on the streets. They couldn't make no money. They couldn't make no money. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? With a Mr. Mom. With a Mr. Mom. Now, one thing you could say about the Democrats is that maybe they are the ones pushing forward this whole Mr. Mom acceptance thing. I'll give you that. They are very liberal in that regard. You know what I mean? Listen, politicians and all of that shit, I don't really give a fuck about them individually for myself, but I know how they affect other people besides myself, and I can't think just for me. I can't. That'd be just like me saying, well, I have a good job and I make good money, so it doesn't matter what nobody else do. They need to try to do what I did, but I'm not showing them shit. It doesn't work that way. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. But yeah, Democrats definitely push the liberal agenda. Yeah, they do. They push that shit. I don't agree with all that shit. I don't agree with half of it. Maybe not even 1/4 of it. But I do believe that everybody has to pay their fair share. And as long as they keep saying that, if they can prove it, I'll go with it. Not only that, but they put more people who look like me in leadership positions. And you can try to front on that all you want. That is a figgity fact. Figgity fact. All right, y'all, let's keep going. Hold on, son. Hold on. Make sure I got the chat up. Make sure I got the chickity. All right. Okay, Jared Darius says, I think with gas, you're right. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but you got to admit the border is fucked up now. Yeah, the border is fucked up now, but it's the Republicans that don't want to sign that bill to fix it. Now, Donald Trump's answer to the border was building a wall that he wasn't even going to stand on that. He ran on it. They had to make him stand on it. He said he was building the wall. Where is it at? You have 4 years, or did you? Some of the wall should still be up. Where is it at? They hiding the wall. You know what I mean? Where's the part where the Mexicans was like, yo, we can't come on this. We can't enter the country this way anymore because they built this goddamn wall over here. It sounds dumb. You can't be divisive like that. You know what I mean? But, and yeah, we have a problem at the border. But that problem is not a new problem. It's an existing problem. Somebody has to fix it. It's sad to see, children being cut off from their families. One thing is for sure, with the immigrants and the border problem, we're probably not talking about Mr. Mom situations with that. Is daddy the one that leads the way across the border like, yo, we got to get to the otro lado. Otro lado how do you say the country? Fuck. Da. Pia. It'll come to me. I don't even want to Google it because I gotta keep my Spanish fresh in my head. I see we have a caller on the line. Caller with the last numbers 4828. Thank you for calling in. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good? Caller, you there? Because if you are and I don't hear you, are you muted by any chance?
I was chewing, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, look, I'm doing all I can here. I can't be on this side of the phone and the other side of the phone. I just can't.
Okay, so I had a question for you. Do you think that the increase of stay-at-home dads has also helped to increase the number of women who have decided that they're lesbians or that they're bi?
I don't
That
know.
way that they don't have to be charged with going to work. Instead, they'd rather just find a woman who will provide for them in a way that men traditionally used to.
No, I don't think that it contributes to it at all. Not at all. Not even one little grain of sand. No. You know why? Because being a lesbian is about what you're attracted to. It has nothing to do with what a man has done to you or not. The only way that a woman can be with another woman if another woman makes another woman's pussy wet. That's it. The only way a man can be with another man is if he's attracted to that man. It don't have nothing to do with who broke his heart, who made him sad, or who didn't take care of him. If you don't like the look, smell, and feel of the same sex, you ain't going there.
Okay, so I listen to a lot of podcasts and things like that, and so I mean, I'm asking the question because I didn't think. I agree with you. That's my point. But I've heard a lot of women say, well, you know, I want to be taken care of, and men aren't taking care of us anymore. So I'm going where I know I'm going to be taken care of. So I do believe that there's a small percentage of women who are just being opportunistic. But, you know, like you said, and they're usually pillow princesses, which means that they don't reciprocate any of the sexual, gratification. It's not a reciprocal, relationship. So they specifically go and find, female partners where they don't have to do anything sexually to that female and let the female take care of them because they didn't have, a good run with men taking care of them.
Do women take care of women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some.
I mean, you can hold your breath for a few minutes, but after a while, you're gonna be breathing. So I could see a woman, really wanting to feel her testosterone coursing through her veins and saying, "Listen, I'm gonna do what a man would do, and anything my baby want, she can get." But a woman can't not feel how a woman feels, no matter what. No matter how butch she may be, she still bleeds once a month, whether she likes it or not, and she has to take care of it. And that shows that she has the hormones that a woman has. So I would think.
I mean, yeah, all that is true, but that to the person who's literally just there to be taken care of, she doesn't give a shit about whether or not it's Mr. Mom or Miss Mr. Mom.
Yeah, but I'm speaking from the standpoint of the woman who's supposed to be taking care of the other woman.
Okay.
Because it's one thing that is really hard to do is unknow what you know. See, a man doesn't know everything about a woman. He doesn't understand the processes of the way that she processes information in her head. But a woman does. Whether she's straight or whether she's gay, she knows that the way that a woman thinks. So I'm thinking that when a woman starts to, even if let's say, if a lesbian really wants to take care, she wants to be the man in the relationship and take care of all the bills and all of the financial responsibilities and all of that kind of stuff. After a while, just like I was, if you were listening earlier on the show, just like with my friend, his wife was really resenting the fact that she had to get up in the morning, get dressed, get washed, and take her ass to work, bust her ass, and do well at work in order to provide for the family every day, while her man in her eyes, stayed home, sat on his ass, and had it easy. How would it be? How would another woman not look at another woman as doing that? Even if it's their agreement. It's gonna be like, cause see, a woman can kick it like, well, you promised. She can kick it to a man like, look, this is the way you wanted it. I was going to go to work. I was already working. I was doing well. I was making money or whatever. You said no. You make enough to take care of both of us. And I'll just do, as long as I stay home and do whatever take care of home and all of that, then you will provide. So I need my stipend. I need my allowance. I went shopping today. I need you to pay them bills and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm your woman, right? I'm your wife, right? I'm your girl, right? This is how you wanted it, right? Yeah, she can kick that to a man because he's going to have to stay on his word. He a man. A woman don't necessarily have to stay doing her word as a woman. I mean, what they say, it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, right?
Yeah, and a lot of those women that are opportunistic and thinking that they're going into a situation where it's going to be sweet and they're going to be taken care of, they end up changing their mind once they see it's not as sweet as they thought. And like, well, let me go back on to the other side.
Look. For years I was a landlord, and there were times that I rented to a lesbian couple. And I swear, when I tell you they couldn't pay the rent to save their lives, they couldn't. No matter what the rent was, they couldn't keep it paid. First of all, they was fighting all the time. And I don't know what they was fighting for, but I know I had to come fix walls every now and then, door handles and shit, ceilings. But the rent wasn't paid on time every month. And I pretty much knew why. Like, I'm not fucking paying for this bitch. Shit, she gotta contribute. It made sense to me. Like, I ain't doing it. Fuck out of here. Don't bat your eyes over here and cry and tell me that no man ever treated you right and all. I don't want to hear that shit you lying at. A woman ain't trying to hear that shit. Like, yo, you kick that shit to John. That shit ain't working over here with Amy. Amy ain't trying to hear that shit. Like, bitch, I've been through the same shit you've been through. Fuck out of here. Get your ass. Put your panties and bra on. You take your ass. You get a job at the fast food. Something. You gonna do something. They couldn't pay the rent. They couldn't pay the rent. And this is back in the day. The rent was only maybe $400 or $500. Couldn't pay that bitch. None of them that I ever rented to, they couldn't keep the rent paid. And when you talk to them, like, well, why is the rent late? Like, what's going on? And y'all gonna have to go to court. It was always, well, she didn't pay her half, and I want to get her off the lease, and I want. I was like, yeah, this all makes sense. Y'all need a nigga to get in there and pay that rent. That's what you need. Yes, that's what niggas do. We supposed to pay that rent. Keep this.
That's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they supposed to do. So when we talking about the whole Mr. Mom thing, where that's not what they doing, like, your woman might still love you, but if you have the love without the respect that you earn by making sure that you take care of yours, it gets choppy. It can get a little ugly.
Well, so I have a real big problem with, there's like a whole generation of men that don't want to work, and they're going on the internet. The internet. You know how I feel about the internet, because I've been on your show before talking about it. But they go on the internet talking about, nah, King, know your worth. Let her work, let her do this, that, and the other. And they're riding on the backs of the men that were actually taking care of their families. Talking about they don't want to work. Nah, Nikki Ficky, like, you weren't the one that was out there, doing what they were supposed to be doing, and now you need a break. You've actually only held 2 jobs in your life. Talking about you don't want to work. You want a 6-figure woman. so she can take care of you and you can stay home. So there's a whole generation of men that want to be house husbands because they don't even want to be out there doing nothing.
That surprises me because the thing about being a house husband, if you do that, like I said, the whole respect thing, your woman is not going to respect you. And when a lot of women lose respect for you, then the emasculation kicks in. Yeah, it sounds good to be playing the gigolo role or believing that you playing the pimp role, but let a woman pay a few bills for a little while, or be responsible for your haircuts, your sneakers, the food on the table, the place where you live, and your whole ability to be mobile, your phone bill, all that kind of stuff. Let her have full control, full financial control over you, and you think it is sweet because you ain't got to pay for nothing and you got top-notch shit. But the way you're going to be talked to, the way you're going to be looked at, and the way that you're going to be treated is going to take a big, big dive. I would rather work in fast food or sell socks or wait to do construction, construction outside of Home Depot, waiting to get picked up with the Mexicans before I would let a woman pay my total weight in life. Because it don't take long for it to kick in. If your woman don't look at you as a go-getter, as a provider, as the hunter, it's going to start the show. Yeah, baby, I love you and everything, but you a bitch because she's in a lone situation. She has girlfriends, she has families, and they get to talking. And not only that, but she goes over their houses, she sees the way it's set up, and I'm like, yeah, it was all good when I was just paying to have orgasms on a regular basis. It was all good. That's what made me sign up for this shit in the first damn place. Now he couldn't make he couldn't make me come with a doggy biscuit. This bitch ain't coming. You know what I mean? Totally turned off. Now, I mean, I know I'm being prejudiced, and I know I can't be speaking for every situation, but that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying that there's a timeline on this. There's a timeline. So it might start off one way, like, yeah, you know, like my man gonna be home when I get there. He probably cooked, you know what I mean, have my bath drawn and all that old good shit. I'm gonna be tired in the morning when I come up in here, but I'm gonna be feeling good. Yeah, all that shit. Because just like she's gonna change, he's gonna change. No, somebody can't. What's that old saying? You can't respect somebody who kisses your ass. You know what I mean? Well, however it goes, it's true. So if somebody hasn't made a way for themselves to be able to have anything except for what you give them, it's just like being on welfare. So you mean to tell me you can't eat, you can't live anywhere, eat, or go to the doctor unless the government approves this and finances it? Yet you want to talk about freedom and listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Mm-hmm. You can speak out about it, but you put yourself in a position where you can't do shit. Shit, you know who values welfare more than anybody? The people who ain't on welfare. Us working people are the ones who see the value of welfare. We be like, man, we don't never talk about the money though, because that ain't enough. Like, fuck that money. But yo, you mean to tell me I can get my teeth fixed? You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me? Right? It's gonna be a crab legs feast tonight. I got a crab boil. Cook out on me. Cook out on me. 4th of July, my house, y'all. Be there. Yeah. It's all good when that's supplementing your income. When that's your actual income, it ain't good at all. That shit is That shit it's akin to slavery. It really is. And it keeps you poor. It's validation that you're poor. So what's the difference between being poor on welfare and poor because your woman is taking total care of you? Even a lot of women don't like to be in this situation. And their fathers and mothers and all of that will tell them, like, listen, make sure that you always have your own. Yeah, I mean, if your man wants to take care of you, that's fine. But you make sure that any money that he gives you, you put some of that shit away. You do not spend all of that shit like it's gonna keep on coming in. Because he'll fuck around and go make another family with somebody else while yours is still here, and he'll start reducing the amount that he puts in yours and start increasing the amount that he puts in the other one. And now when he leaves or push you out or whatever the case is, you don't have shit. So if he gives you 500, you better put away too. If he gives you 500, you put away 2 and act like and spend like he only gave you 2.
Yeah.
I ain't saying, act like you don't need no man.
That's what my parents told me. Always have your own.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
Have your own. You don't have to be a feminist with it. But ain't nothing wrong with having your own.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I remember.
It builds pride. It increases your self-esteem. Ownership, it increases your self-esteem. Shit. When you rent a car, you be scared as shit when you rent a car. Like, this shit gotta have the same amount of gas in it when you bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Don't dent this car. Don't fuck this shit up. Because it has to be in the same condition when you bring it back, and you have to bring it back or it's going to cost you money. When it's your own car, you be pissed that the kids was playing football or baseball and dented your shit, but you know what I mean, either their parents to pay for it, you take it to the body shop and get your shit fixed. Ain't nobody going to scold you or hurt you or penalize you over it. You handle it. Ownership builds self-esteem. It just does. It does. It's my shit. That's why some people get ridiculously possessive when it comes to their shit. Now, this is my shit. Don't try to tell me what to do with my shit. This is mine. You living in my house. Like, it's not cool to get that way, but I get it. Get your own and you ain't got to hear that shit. Like, fuck your little house. You little punk ass car. You little shitty money that you giving me. Look, I got my own money. Look at that. I got a knot. I'm about to pull up this knot. Well,
are you showing a knot right now?
I'm actually showing a knot. This is not a lot of money. I'm showing. This ain't a knot. This is more like a I'm out here showing a but it's mine though. Wait, let me put it in, nigga. It's mine though. So it go the way it go. It go the way it go. But yeah, how long will a woman how long will a woman put up with a Mr. Mom? She'll put up with it for a minute while it's sweet, while everything is going well, just like anything else in life. While things are going well, you're going to do that shit. But as soon as it's time to make adjustments, and adjustments will need to be made. Change is inevitable. You can't stay the way that you started. It started a certain kind of way because you had a certain kind of vision at the start. After a while, you got to flip it and bounce it and change it and rearrange it and switch it around. Improve it. Make improvements. I take it back to the car. When you first got the car, it was pretty much what you wanted it to be. It might have had the rims on it that you wanted, the sound system that you wanted. It was new, so you didn't have to worry about repairs like you didn't want to. The leather interior or cloth or whatever, everything electric. The navigation system, the what do you call it? Where they basically have computer screens in the car now. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is a full 15-inch laptop. It had everything in there that you wanted. That doesn't mean that as time goes on, you might want your car to be a different color. Like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna paint my shit. You know, I had 18-inch rims on my shit. I want 22s. I saw these nice chrome ones and these polished ones. I want to do that. I want to tint my windows. I may even want to change. I had peanut butter interior. Now you know what? I think I went two-tone, red and black. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do that with your shit. The way it starts out is not the way that it's always going to stay. There's going to be plenty of times when you want to change things around to your specifications, and a relationship is no different. But in a relationship, you have to deal with. You're not dealing with an inanimate object. You're dealing with a real person with feelings and thoughts. And so they may be changing in a different way than you're changing. And you may have expectations that they change towards what suits you. But you're really going to push the envelope about changing towards what suits you if you're the one paying for everything. Because that kind of makes sense. You don't have to be a tyrant about it.
Unfortunately, my oldest son had to learn that exact lesson. You know, he was like, I want to say 20, 21 at the time. And he may have even been, he's about 21. And he had this, older woman as far as I was concerned. You know, she was like 32, 33 years old. That was lusting after him. And he thought it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I said, listen, you know, I don't agree with this. You know, just so he knew where I was with it. But don't get sucked in. Don't get sucked in, you know, by this woman. Usually, if the woman's that much older than you and she makes a lot of money, she's gonna start throwing money at you. She's gonna start throwing gifts at you. She's going to suggest that you move in with her, you know, and he thought that sounded like the best thing ever. And I told him, I said, yo, you're going to compromise your manhood messing with this chick. And he was like, no, I got it. Mm-hmm. And she was throwing, she everything I told him, she started throwing money at him. She was throwing gifts. He'd bring the gifts to me or to give them to his siblings, you know, because it was like usually like electronics and stuff like that, because that's the type of stuff he liked. Buying them game systems. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nigga, she buying you a game system so you can sit your ass on her house. She bought him 2. I'm just married in that for a minute. She bought him 2. And it just ended up exactly how I said. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm doing this, that, and the other for you, so you should be doing this. And basically, she put him in a position where she was like, I run things because I'm the one who holds all the money cards, all the money bags. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like a lot of women who say that they're okay with the man being in that position where they're at home, they're possessive, you know, because what motivates a man, what motivates a woman is different things. Mm. So, absolutely. You know, it's different things. We confront like it's the same, it's not. So what motivated that woman to say, yep, you should be home, I want you home, is different than what motivated that man. Most men, I shouldn't say all men.
Yeah.
And so, she's doing it to be possessive until such time that she gets tired of it. And when that time comes, just understand there's no turning back. When she's tired of it and she's done tolerating you being at home, understand that you don't have a week or a month. You better call Tyrone and tell him come on and help you get your shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like you hear certain girls out here, women out here, you know, sometimes they joking around, sometimes they serious. They be like, you know, I need me a sugar daddy. See, they only be thinking about getting their bills paid and being able to have money left over to spend and, you know, waste and all that kind of stuff. They don't realize that having a sugar daddy means you can't have no boy company at your house. No boy company for you. No. He might not let your brother come over, your boy cousins. Like, I don't know that cousin. That's your cousin? And no cousins I know dressed like that. Like, what are you talking about? Yo, look, you want this sugar daddy money? Well, there's certain things you got to do.
90 seconds.
First of all, sugar daddies like they like to eat, and they ain't eating out all the time. Like, they give you enough money. You better have that chicken fried when I get off on Friday. Had a bath drawn too. Yeah, and them legs gonna be open just like the fast food spot. Sugar daddy sweet. You know it.
60 seconds.
So you don't do what the sugar daddy tell you to do. Guess what? He'll find somebody else that want that money. There's plenty of women out here that want
that for my sugar daddy.
You know what? Well, more power to you. That's great. But I'll bet you sugar daddy. I'm sure if he fashions himself a sugar daddy, I'm sure that he is gone to the board and made sure that he conducts himself properly. Because that's a real thing. You know, sugar daddies ain't just random. They're not acting independently. You know, they meet with each other and make sure that they all on point.
Yeah, there's a sugar daddy delegate. No, but seriously, I don't.
10 seconds.
It was funny to
sugar daddy delegates. That's right. All right, man. We gotta get on up out of here. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. I do. I do. Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow we are talking about being in love with a follower. When your man or your woman is a follower, you know, they are not leaders, they are followers. Can you do it? So make sure you tune in for that one. Once again, thank you for calling in. I hope you have a wonderful day from here on out. Hopefully I hear from you or see you around tomorrow. And that's gonna do it. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs and then make off with the rest of the money. All right.
Have a good day, everybody.
Ditto. Peace. All right. Y'all. We have some birthday shout outs. To do. Some people were born on this glorious March 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them. We make them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Annabelle Paradise, turning 46 years old today. In Cold Summer, turning 49 years old today. And Trinae Queen, turning 36 years old today. And Tawana Jamal Russell Curry, turning 41 years old today. And D Port, turning 37 years old today. And Maria Oriales Perdomo, turning 34 years old today. And Diane, I Am God's Child Heard, turning 34 years old today. And Noretta Jordan, turning 53 years old today. And Trina Herring, happy birthday to you. And my girl, Yaz G. Should I say Kiliana Damal, a.k.a. Yaz G. Happy birthday to you, Ma. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, it's real out here. I said, listen, yo, it's real out. Putting up with a Mr. Mom. You're a woman that has a Mr. Mom. Listen, I'm going to say this. The way that you structure your family is your business. Whatever goes on inside of your home, if it works for you, it works for everybody else. Not everybody has to know the way that you live, but you have to be the one that lives there and has to deal with the satisfaction or dissatisfaction of the way that your whole home relationship, love, marriage is set up. Personally, I think that is a bad example for the kids. For a man not to work would show responsibility and being a provider. But listen, I don't make the rules for everybody, and anybody can fall on hard times. And I'm always in support of however a man provides for his family. So if he provides financially, that's good. And if he only provides in other ways, socially, educationally, emotionally, hey, we all need, we still have all the same needs. We just may not have all the same needs at the same time for the same people. But you do what works for you. I'm not going to tell you that because I say that it's supposed to be this way, or because I was raised this way or taught this way or learned this way, that it's the best way. It's just the way that I know. You live the way that you know and the way that satisfies you and yours. If y'all don't have no arguments about it, I don't have any arguments with it at all either. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Urban Therapy with Sun show, and we're going to be talking about being in love with a follower. You in love with a follower, homie? You in love with a what? Say what? Well, that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, so make sure y'all come through. All right? So appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. And we are out of here. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. 1, 2, on the other side, my boobers. Peace. All right.